Welcome, guys, to the Salvation Army bell ringer orientation. How many of you have ever rang before? No one. Okay, that's okay. We actually been started. We started on the 13th, and we'll be going until the 24th, and that's Christmas Eve. We work Monday through Saturday. Saturdays are not optional. Let me just tell you that right now. Saturdays really are our best days out because people are out shopping, and Saturday, Monday through Saturday, approximately 11 to 7. Okay, 11 to 7 every day. We don't have enough bell ringers, so pretty much I'm going to tell you that you can work as many hours as you want. And so, if you need a day off, the best day to take would be Monday through Wednesday. The closer we get to the weekend, the more people are out shopping. Okay, I'm Major Mike Halverson, and me and my wife just got here about 4 months ago, and we're in charge here of this unit, this what we call Corps. And we've been Salvation Army officers for 18 years. I've actually been running kettles since 1995, so yeah, do the math, a long time. And kettles, so why do we do kettles? That's not a rhetorical question. Anybody want to answer? Why do you think we do kettles? Yeah.
It gives more opportunity for people to donate to people in need.
Yeah, and to people in need, right? That's the big thing. So the money that we bring in during the Christmas season goes directly out to the community that need it. Okay, so if we have anybody know the different services that the Salvation Army provides? Of course, we have a food pantry, right? Every unit has a food pantry, but there's utilities. Sometimes we're helping with rent. Sometimes we're helping. Right now, we're helping with a lot of COVID families that are homeless. We put them into hotel rooms. We help with Thanksgiving coming up. We're going to give out hot meals for Thanksgiving. Christmas, we give out toys and food boxes during Christmas. So there's a lot of different services. We have a back-to-school program, back to school supplies that we do. We have a lot of youth programs that we provide. So there's a lot of different services that the Salvation Army provides during the year, the whole year, not just Christmas. And this money that you are going out to raise is helping us to serve that many more people. Okay, everybody understand that? Anybody know when the Salvation Army was started? What year? Anybody? 1865. So we've been around a long time. Anyone know where? I'm going to assume not. London, England. So London, England, it started. We've been in Denver. I think it's 1887, serving people. As you can tell, we're a church. We have church every Sunday, as long as COVID allows us. And we also have youth and women's and men's groups and stuff that happen throughout the week. And so the reason why we do what we do, the reason why we serve people, is because we want to make sure that we're obedient to the Bible, God's Word. So William Booth started the Salvation Army. William Booth in 1865, London, England. He started the Salvation Army as a church, but he also knew that the people that we were serving really didn't care about the Bible or church because they were hungry, or they had a toothache, or things going on physically with them. So he said we need to make sure that we serve them physically before we try to help them spiritually. So again, we one of the reasons why we pay people is we can't get enough volunteers to come and help, right? So if we could, we would do all volunteers. But and at the other side, we also feel like it's a great opportunity to give you guys a job if you need it, right? So maybe you're looking for a job, and so maybe you need a little extra income for Christmas, so you can buy Christmas presents or whatever. So we want to give you that job. We want to make sure that you have your needs met as well. When we are out there, the most important thing is that you're remembering that you're representing the Salvation Army. Okay, when they look at you, they say, "Hey, there's the Salvation Army." And so I'm going to go through a bunch of things that will help you to understand what a bell ringer is and how to do it. Okay. This is the largest fundraiser of the year. Last year, this unit brought in $150,000 or so, but in United States wide, we bring in millions of dollars from this fundraiser, and the more we bring in, obviously, the more we can help people and serve people who are in need. So again, we're going to go over some things, and first of all, I want to show you a video that was brought out, that came out this year because of COVID, just to help you guys to understand some of the things that we're going to expect you to do while you're out there, especially with COVID. But there's also a couple other things on there, so let's give that a watch.
Hi, I'm Alicia, and I've been a bell ringer for many years. As you know, in recent months, a global pandemic has changed our world, so ringing the bell in 2020 will be a little different. Whether this is your first year or you have been ringing for many years, we ask that you watch this short video to learn the ins and outs of being a bell ringer. First of all, please consider the risk to your personal health as well as that of your family. If you decide not to ring this year, it is no reflection on your ability to serve as a bell ringer in the future. If you are exhibiting symptoms or have had any known exposure to someone who has tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 14 days, let us know as soon as possible so we can find a replacement for your shift. We want you to get well and not potentially expose others. We are committed to following all CDC and local guidelines and ask that you follow these guidelines too when volunteering at the Red Kettle. Kettle equipment will be cleaned prior to each shift. All bell ringers are required to wear a face mask at all times while at the kettle. Remember to maintain social distancing 6 feet or more from customers and donors, and please don't handle donations. Ask people to place their money straight into the kettle. Our kettle stands have been equipped with Apple and Google Pay, so people can give electronically. They simply tap their phone where indicated on the kettle stand sign or scan the QR code using their phone's camera, which will take them to the donation website. If they don't have Apple or Google Pay, they can still tap their phone or scan the QR code to donate with a credit card. This is a very safe way to give, and it's also great for people who don't carry cash. When your shift ends, please wipe your bell with the provided disinfectant spray or wipes so it is clean and ready for the next bell ringer. Remember, some stores may require more safety measures than others, so please follow the instructions you receive from your local kettle coordinator. If you have any questions or concerns about COVID-19 or the safety precautions we are taking, please contact your local Salvation Army for more information. Okay, so now that we are all safe, here are some things to keep in mind. Did you know that the donations at the kettle stay in your community and help people all year long? This gives donors confidence that their donation really is doing the most good right in their own backyard. You can ring all day if you want, but we ask that you ring for a minimum of 2 hours. Don't forget to dress in weather-appropriate clothing that's clean and neat and wear comfortable shoes. Double check your ringing location before your shift. Some locations have kettles at both the entrance and the exit doors. And please arrive 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time. The store wants to provide their customers with the best shopping experience possible. You and the Salvation Army are part of that experience. So always have a pleasant attitude, a big smile, and say thank you. And if you would like, feel free to say Merry Christmas. And don't forget to ring that bell. Please don't smoke or eat or use your cell phone unless you're on a break or there's an emergency. We ask that you refrain from discussing Salvation Army policies, positions, and theology with customers. If someone has an issue, please refer them to the local Salvation Army Corps officer. Some bell ringers make bell ringing a bit more special with instruments and music, but not all stores allow it, and COVID-19 regulations might restrict it. If you'd like to play an instrument or sing carols, please check with the Salvation Army first. If you have the last shift of the day, The Salvation Army will give you instructions about what to do with your equipment. If in doubt, call. It's a good idea to program the Salvation Army's number into your phone so you have it. Once again, thank you so much for your interest in becoming a Salvation Army bell ringer. May God bless you for your kindness and compassion.
So a lot of those things had to do with volunteers, as you could tell. Your shift will be a full shift, usually at least 6.5 to 8 hours. And again, what will happen is you will come here each morning. You will get scanned for your temperature, sign in, make sure that everything's good. Come in here. We're going to have like a little, I call it a little powwow, a little bell ringing thing where we just have a few announcements. We'll give a devotion and prayer. You don't have to be in the devotion and prayer if you feel, if that's against your religion or whatever, you can go out the back door. That's okay. And then we'll have some devotion and prayer. And then what I'll do is I'll go make the schedule for the day, come out and call it out for where you're going to be located. And then your drivers will take you out, or if you drive, who drives? Okay, so if you drive, you can drive out to your location. That's fine. We just need to tell the driver that you're going to be driving. Okay. What do you guys think the most important thing about bell ringing is? Good attitude is important. Very important. Yes, absolutely. Being there, being at the spot. That's a huge one. But I want to say the most important thing, and actually both of those are correct, because what I'm saying is you have to talk to everybody that goes by. Okay, I went into a Kohl's the other day, and the guy was actually inside, so he was blessed. But you guys are going to be outside. But this guy was greeting every single person, and he's so friendly, so nice, and it just makes you kind of made me feel kind of good that he looked me in the eyes and he said, welcome to Kohl's, and so that's kind of the idea. You're welcoming people as they go in. You're saying have a great day, Merry Christmas on the way out. So the most important thing is talking to every person, and if you're not there, you can't talk to them, right? If you're not there, you can't be friendly. But talking, I always say smile, but nobody's going to see your smile, okay? Yeah, right. I mean, maybe people can tell, right? Yeah, smiling, greeting the shoppers. Again, upbeat. I'm going to tell you that sometimes you're not going to be in a good mood, but I pay you to be in a good mood, right? So even if you're not in a good mood, you're gonna pretend like you're in a good mood, right? You're gonna spread the cheer. You're basically out there to make people feel good. If a lot of times if you can get their attention, they see the Salvation Army sign. That's gonna sell, right? That's gonna sell it, right? So your goal is to get their attention. People notice, and exactly what you said. People notice when you're not wanting to be there. Okay, they're not gonna give to you. Okay, if you're acting like you're bored or you're leaning up against something, or you're just not talking to anybody, they're not gonna give. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you that we have to make it worthwhile to put you guys out there, okay? And I've done the math. We're paying $14 an hour, which is okay. It's decent, okay? I mean, of course you can find better jobs, but $14 an hour times 8 is approximately $125 when you're talking about taxes and everything that we got to pay. So if you're not making at least $125, we can't put you out. Okay, so we got to make sure that you're working, you're doing it, you're greeting the people, and then another thing is you need to stand. Okay, and that's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie. Okay, standing outside all day is not easy, okay? It's not. I've done it. When we went to the seminary, they made us, the seminary students, go out and stand kettles so that when we send people out like you guys, we know what it's like, okay? So we had to go out. If you need to sit and you have a doctor's note saying that you need to sit, you need to bring your own chair, and then you can bring the doctor's note to me saying that you need to sit. But then, even then, I would prefer you to stand as much as possible and then sit when you need to, okay? We need to be, again, going back to what you said, we need to make sure that we're at the location, okay? We pay you to be at the site. If we come there too many times and people, our drivers or whatever, see that you're not there, we're just going to let you go, okay? Because we absolutely need people at the site. So make sure you're there. You get a half an hour lunch, 2 15-minute breaks. Okay, make sure you take them. Okay, you deserve them. Again, like I said, it's not an easy job. So take them. Get out of the cold. It's going to get cold. These are great days. These are great days for bell ringing right now. I mean, when it gets up into the 60s, it's perfect. But it's going to get cold during the season, and just make sure that you're taking your breaks and your lunch. So you're going to have a mask. I thought all these had a mask in them, but you're going to have a mask to wear. We're going to give you one out, or you can wear your own, either way. But you got to wear it every day, all the time. I hate them as much as you do, trust me. But you got to. It's just the way it is. It's the rules. We're trying to keep everybody safe, trying to keep you healthy. If you get unhealthy, we lose a bell ringer, right? And if you get unhealthy, you have to be home for 14 days or whatever it is, right? And if you get unhealthy and you're not wearing a mask, then we get somebody sick that's walking by. We don't want to be held liable for that either. So wear the mask all the time, okay? We have some hand sanitizer that we're going to give to you on the first day. We got lots. If you use it up, tell us. We want to give you more. You have an apron that you need to wear every day, okay? And it needs to be over the top of whatever you're wearing, okay? It can't be underneath. It needs to be, you need to have this identification as a bell ringer, okay? If it's a heavy coat, you need to have it over the heavy coat. No matter what it is, you need to make sure that you have your apron on, okay? Time cards. Let me go get one. So the time cards are here every morning. You come in, you grab a time card. It'll ask what location. The location, so for instance, if it's a King Soopers, we have 20 King Soopers, okay? So don't just put King Soopers, put down King Soopers, what road, okay? If it's on Kipling or Alameda or whatever, make sure that you write down what, you don't have to necessarily know the store address, but just make sure that you're giving us a little bit, so when we count the money in the morning, we're trying to figure out, of course, your name, obviously, and the date, and the start time and the end time, and then just saying that you took your breaks, okay? At the end of the shift, for the time card, you will not have it in the bucket yet, okay? The driver will come up, they'll have a badge. If they don't have a badge, run. No, I'm telling you. But all the drivers have a badge, okay? And they should be and they should be able to show it to you if you ask. You'll get to know them, right, in their face and stuff like that, because they're going to be similar people that'll pick up every night. But they'll have a badge, okay? You put down, or he puts down the time that you ended, whatever time they got there. You sign it, he signs it, you put it in the kettle. Everybody understand that? If you don't, we don't know who it is. A lot of the times we'll open up a kettle and there's no time card. So how do we know who that money belongs to, or that time belongs to? Okay, so we got to make sure you have a time card in every kettle that you have. Another thing, for going back to COVID, we got to make sure if somebody's giving money, you got to try to be 6 feet away. Okay, try to be 6 feet away from the person giving. All right. Make sure that you have that social distancing. Ring your bell, okay? They're going to give you a bell. you're going to have nightmares about bells. Okay, it's just the case. If you're going to be a bell ringer, you're going to hear bells after, before, all day. Okay, even when you're not ringing. But we ask you to ring. Okay, we need you to ring your bell. People expect you to ring your bell. The song "Silver Bells." And if you hear that song, that's about the Salvation Army, okay? It's about the Salvation Army bell ringers out on the, the street corners and what's that? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Silver bells. So ring your bell. Sometimes people will either tie or rubber band it to your hand. A lot of times you'll drop it, so don't freak out. If you need another bell, we got bells, okay? But we need you to ring your bell. Dress warm. What I tell people is dress in layers, okay? Because in the morning, well, it's not really morning. It's about 11 by the time you guys get out there, but it's a little chillier. Then it gets warmed up. Like right now, it's probably 60 or so. So then take some layers off, and then when it gets about 5 o'clock, it gets dark, and then it gets cold. Okay? When it gets dark, it gets cold. So then have enough clothes to make sure you're warm, okay? But I also want to make sure that you are looking nice. Again, we're representing, right? Representing. Please, no blue jeans. I'm okay maybe with black jeans, but no blue jeans, no t-shirts, okay? I'm not saying you have to have a suit on, okay? Or a really nice dress, because you definitely need to be warm, okay? But you also need to represent. So black pants or slacks or something that will keep you warm. Maybe you put on some long johns underneath it, or some tights or whatever, leggings for the ladies. But dress warm, dress nicely. Some people will wear overalls, which I'm okay with as long as they look nice and they don't have oil stains all over them, okay? Sometimes that'll protect you a little bit more from the wind. But the better you look, the more you represent the Salvation Army, the more people will give, okay? So that's kind of what we're trying to do. Christmas lights. Sometimes people will have those battery-operated Christmas lights, and they'll put them around their neck, or they'll put them on the stand, just being a part of the season. Also, Santa hats allowed. If you want to do, like, if you're anybody sports fans. No? Okay. Anyway, you can wear Denver Broncos, Avalanche, you can wear Nuggets, just wear the local sports teams. A lot of the times if people see that, they'll give a little bit more because they see that you're representing the local area. Good hygiene. I know I have to, okay, so some of these things that I'm going to say, I don't necessarily, looking at y'all, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with, but I've had problems in the past. I've done this, again, for 35 years or whatever. And so have good hygiene, okay? Is this the kettle orientation? Yeah. Okay. All right. Good hygiene. Take a shower, okay? People don't want to be near people who smell, all right? Comb your hair. Brush your teeth. Have good hygiene, all right? Have good hygiene. Make sure that, people are actually going to want to be around you. Every morning, we're going to meet here, okay? 10:15, okay? 10:15. You can be here earlier, but about 10:15 we start. And again, like I said, if you're not going to be here, call in. You're probably going to talk to Clarette out at front desk. And you're going to tell her, I can't be there, I'm sick, I have something problem with my kids, or whatever. We understand, life happens, okay? But there's not going to be like a specific schedule. Like, I'm not going to give you like, here, you're going to work Tuesday through Saturday, okay? You're going to show up. If you show up, you'll most likely work, okay? But you're going to be on time, 10:15. We'll try to have everything done, wrapped up, in 15, 20 minutes, and then the drivers can either take you out or you can drive out to your location, okay? But make sure you communicate. What happens if you don't show, no call at another job? You're fired, right? You're fired. So we're probably not going to fire you unless it continues, right? But if you don't show no call, just communicate with us, okay? Again, most locations are between 6 and 8 hours. We need the workers. We have 37 locations, okay? We put out 10 today, and we're still working on bell ringers. So if you know people who need jobs, send them to us, okay? Please, we need people to go out. The more sites we have, the more income we bring in. So please know that you can work 6 to 8 hours a day, depending on the day. Again, like I said, Saturdays are like critical. Okay, so you need to be there. Okay, if you just can't do Saturdays, please come and talk to me. But you really, really, really need to try to be there on Saturdays. We need as many spots as we can fill on Saturdays. I already told you what days to take off. Take your breaks. But again, people are watching. Okay, I'm going to tell you that we have advisory board, we have church members, we have staff members, we have lots of people. A lot of people are calling me all the time, saying, "Mike, Major Mike, your bell ringer is this. Your bell ringer's not doing it. Your bell ringer's not talking to anybody. Your bell ringer's not ringing his bell. You're blah blah blah." Okay, so just do your job. People are watching. Okay, people are watching. It's our privilege to be out there. There's a lot of stores that have said, no, you can't bell ringer in front of our stores anymore. But now we still have some, okay? And we need to make sure that we keep them happy, all right? We don't want to be that Corps, that Salvation Army, where a bell ringer cusses out, a staff member from King Soopers, and they get angry and say, "Oh, nope, can't use King Soopers nationally anymore," right? Okay, so we don't want to be that person. So if you have a problem with staff, please let me know. Please let me know, or a manager or whatever. Please let me know. But be as nice as possible as you can. If we're not representing, again, it looks bad on the Salvation Army as a whole. Sometimes I've had bell ringers use the staff store lounge. Don't do that, okay? Even if they tell you that you can, don't do that, all right? We've just ran into situations with that. I will tell you that if you get a full-time position and it's going to take you past Christmas, take it. Okay, I will celebrate. I will say congratulations. You just communicate. Again, let us know, right? Let us know that you got that job, and and that you're not going to be working with us anymore. Because it's hard, again, when I'm expecting you, one morning and all of a sudden nobody, and you didn't communicate. Again, communication, please. We're not there to ask for money. I know that sounds weird. But we're not going to say, "Please, can you give to the Salvation Army?" Your job is to greet the customers. You're a customer greeter, okay? You know the one that sits out in front of, or right inside Walmart door and greets people? That's you, okay? But at the same time, you're trying to get money, but you're not asking for money, okay? And you're not going to touch the money. They already said that on the video, right? They said don't touch the money. All the time, don't touch money, but especially this year, don't touch the money. Why? Because of COVID, okay? We don't want you to get sick, all right? So don't touch the money. A lot of times, people will come by and say, "Can you put this in for me?" If they can do it themselves, have them do it. Maybe they're in a wheelchair and they say, "Can you do it for me?" You say, "Can you please stay there and watch me put it in for you?" Okay? A lot of times you can use your bell for the coin or a pen for the coin and just, move it around until it gets into the hole. Sometimes people will drive up and they'll hand money out the window to you, okay? You're not gonna be able to take your kettle there. So if they have an opportunity to wait, say the same thing. "Can you please wait and watch me put it into the kettle?" Okay? No, it's locked. It's locked on there. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I don't want no backs, bro. No strains. No tripping. Okay. So yeah, good question. But again, people are watching. If you're touching, the more you touch the money, the more likely I'm going to get a call saying, Major Mike, your bell ringer is stealing. Okay, so you don't, and maybe I don't believe them, right? Maybe I don't, but we have it all the time. Trust me, we have people, and there's ways that we know if people are stealing. Okay, there's tricks that we know. So if you think again, I don't, doesn't look like, but I never know, right? It doesn't look like any of you would do that, but again, think about you're stealing from people who are in need, right? Basically, when you do that, okay. Smoking, drinking, eating. Smoke on your breaks if you smoke, okay? And do not smoke with your apron on, okay? Take it off. Again, you're representing the Salvation Army. Go away from the stand. Go around the corner of the Walmart or whatever and do your smoking, and then come back and start. If you want to kill yourself, that's okay, but not on Salvation Army time, all right? So smoking, drinking. Major Mike, please come get your bell ringer. He's drunk, okay? I'm not lying. It's happened so many times. So if that happens, obviously you're gone. If we catch you smoking with your apron on, you're gone. So smoking and eating. Again, eating, take your break, eat on your breaks. Now, drinking water. Let me say that again, drinking water. You're going to be outside. It's going to be cold. You got to stay hydrated, okay? So you can drink water all day, okay? Please do it. But if you feel like coffee, or something like that, that's okay too. But and drinking is fine, but obviously not alcohol. Another thing, again, some of these things they just happen. So when the customers are coming out of the store, don't scare them. I know that's funny, but there's a bell ringer 2 years ago that I had that actually scared the customers as they came out the door. And the managers called me and said, "You got to get this guy out of here. He's scaring customers." Yeah, don't scare the customers. You're trying to be nice to them. You're trying to give them an opportunity to give, and if you scare them, that's a good way to get their attention, I guess. But don't scare them. I know it's going to get boring. Can't lie, but no music, nothing in the ears. Why? Because you're trying to communicate with the people who are passing by. Okay, and yes, you might be able to say Merry Christmas or have a good day or whatever, but if they try to talk back to you, you can't hear them. Okay, so again, I know it can be boring, but this job really is what you make it. Okay, you can have as much fun as you want, but you could be as bored out of your mind as you want. Okay, so you kind of just make it what you want it to be. And cell phones, I know that sometimes you might have an emergency call or whatever, but don't use your cell phone. Don't stand around on your cell phone. Again, people are watching, and I get calls all the time. Major Mike, your bell ringer's on their cell phone. Anyway, no cell phones. If you want to use your cell phone, use it on your breaks or your lunch. Okay. Be aware of your surroundings. If you find that somebody's sitting there watching you for a long, extended period of time, just take a break. Okay. Your life is not worth a couple $100 in the kettle. Okay, so just keep yourself safe. Be aware. If somebody comes up to you with a gun, they can't take it anyway. It's locked. I mean, they could take the whole stand, right? And then they're on camera, right? So I mean, they could do it, but so just let them, right? Again, we want you safe, right? I don't think I've ever had anyone bring a gun. I know I say a gun, that really scares somebody, but I've never I've done it for 35 years, and I've never heard of anybody having a gun, except for an officer, which would have been me, but not a bell ringer. So again, just be aware of your surroundings. Again, use common sense. But don't give your kettle to just anyone. Okay, don't, I mean, again, it's locked on, so you really don't have a choice of giving it anyway. But if you are at, for instance, there are a couple like the Hobby Lobbies, we can't lock them on. So if they're not locked on, again, ask for the card. If you have a question, we're not going to pick you up any earlier than 5:30 unless there's a really bad day like last Saturday with the wind. Okay, the wind is killer for bell ringers. Okay, so but if it's really bad weather, we may come out, but majority 99% of the days we're not going to be out there any earlier probably than even 6. Okay, so again, if somebody's trying to come and pick your kettle up at 3 o'clock, give me a call. We'll try to figure out what's going on with that. I've already talked about that. We're going to be out there every day, guys. We're going to be out there every day no matter what the weather is, okay? And I know you won't want to be out there on the really cold, snowy days. But again, please, as you think about taking that day off, just think about those people we're not going to be able to serve with food or whatever, okay? So again, we will be out there every day as much as possible. Don't leave the store before the driver gets there. Everybody hear that? Don't leave the store until the driver gets there. If the driver's not there at the time you're supposed to be off, stay there anyway. Continue to work, and we will pay you for the amount of time that you're there. So if you're supposed to end at 7 and they don't get there until 7:30, we will still pay you until 7:30. They'll write in the time and we'll sign it and everything, and you'll get paid. But we really need you to be there at the location. Now, I know sometimes people have an issue with transportation with the bus. Anybody taking the bus? Okay, so we won't worry about that. But if you have if you're on a bus route and you need to be off at a certain time, please let us know. Again, $14 an hour, and you can get over 40 hours if you really want. Okay, so just but I have to make it's got to be worth the Salvation Army's time and effort to put you out. I've already explained that to you, right? So if you're not making over 125, or for I think it's close to 200 on that one day that could be all overtime, we have to really consider. But just do your best. I believe that if you do everything that we've kind of talked about, you're going to do well. Anybody a musician or can sing well? I'm going to record this for the video. If you sing well, or if you're a musician, please come to me and show me that you can play, and then we can put you at a location where that's allowed. And you can go maybe play guitar, or you can sing, and it does bring in more money. It does bring more money if you are a talented musician. People, will give a little bit more. There's a lot of locations. Like I said, there's about 37 locations, and we will try to get you closer to your home. If as you work, at first you're just going to have to put up with whatever, right? But if I see that you're going to be faithful, that you're going to work for me for the season, I will try to get you near your home, okay? But I'm not necessarily going to promise that you're going to be at the same location every day, okay? Let me tell you why. Because if I'm at King Supers down the road, and somebody comes by me and they give today, and they come by me tomorrow, are they going to give tomorrow again? Maybe, but probably not. They're going to say, I already gave it to you, right? So we're going to shake it up. We're going to keep changing locations, all right? We're going to keep it fresh. And not only that, but sometimes a bell ringer just gets bored at a certain location. They think they like that one location, which they could, okay? But sometimes they get complacent and they don't do the job as well. Like if I'll put them out week 1, they'll do great, and then all of a sudden things just start kind of slipping and they don't do as well. So Okay, that actually, yes. So are people going to give on the way in or on the way out? On the way out most of the time. So if you can, stand, you're not going to put the stand immediately in front of where people are walking. You're not going to impede traffic, but you're going to just, so I should be able to walk by and the stand's just right here. So it's just right here. And then you're going to be, like you said, 6 feet away when they give, okay? So it can't be in front of me, but it should be right to the side. Okay, everybody understand that? So again, on the exit, but you're still hitting people on the way in, and you're hitting people on the way out. In other words, you're communicating. Again, you're talking to everybody that goes in. You're talking to everybody that goes out. And just again, remember that people are counting on you. Okay, it's a very important job. Very important job. And I know you might not think so. I'm just trying to get a job so that I can support myself and have a rent, okay? But I'm going to tell you that the money, again, the money you bring in helps the Salvation Army to help others all throughout the year, okay? So keep that in mind as your bell ringing this year.